Happy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a page in my Life Crafted album using the Cocoa Daisy Poppy Fields collection. And I'm starting with this beautiful cloud background paper that is actually in the planner kit or in the classified memory keeping collection, and I am using the stamps from this month and the navy blue ink pad from Denim and Blush to stamp some extra clouds on top of these clouds, because the stamp sets this month have some really cute layerable stamps for their clouds, so I am using those. My whole goal with this page, well actually what ends up being my goal after a minute, is to put as many clouds on this page as possible, because there are lots of iterations of clouds in different formats in the Poppy Fields collection. So I thought I would go with it and really layer up the clouds, because this is a feeling, or this page is really hopeful for me. It was Patrick and I getting our vaccines, so I thought that cloudy, beautiful skies sort of evoked the hopeful feeling that I was going for with this layout. So I am using the chipboard clouds, and I'm going to layer a few over the initial stamped clusters that I have, and then I'm going to put some over the photos as well, just to sort of anchor them down. But I'm kind of just going through and working my way to that point. I wanted to add a title to this card that I'm going to insert actually onto the rings, because you can see I am going to try and make it work on the actual page, or at least I did try to make it work on the actual page, but it was just too big for the design that I was going for. So I'm going to instead put it on the rings as a little divider. That's just one trick that I like to use when I'm trying to include a little bit more in my pages. I like to just put things on the rings instead of on the pages. So I'm going to map both of these photos, because the photos themselves are like, I have a red mask on and Patrick has a black mask on, and so those colors sort of detracted a little bit from the vibe of the layout. So I thought if I leaned into the colors just a little bit, just enough to make it look like it coordinates with the layout rather than clashes with it, then it would work out a little bit better. So I matted my photo with the red poppy paper, and I matted Patrick's with the green paper. And then other than the clouds that I'm going to use, I'm going to lean a little bit into those green and red colors. So the whole layout will end up being green, red, and blue, and that will pull all of the whole thing together so that it's not clashing. So I'm looking for something to mat this journal card on, and I'm going to go with the black to bring in the black from Patrick's picture. Sorry if you hear the bird. It is spring in East Tennessee and we live in the forest, so there are birds everywhere. I'm going to adhere these two back to back, and I thought about maybe having them open up like a fold in the middle, but instead I'm just going to adhere them back to back, and I'm going to actually use some of these sticky tabs that have holes punched on them that you can get at Stitcher's Twist Kits in the Life Craft, or with the Life Crafted album stuff, and I'm going to just adhere it to the front side of that card, and that way I don't have to punch holes in the card to make it go on the rings. There's already holes, and it doesn't ruin my journaling or anything like that. So that is where that card is going to go, so that it doesn't cover up either of our faces when it's turned. Now I'm going to start pulling out some of the green and red chipboard pieces, because I already have a lot of chipboard on this page, so I might as well just keep adding chipboard, because it's not going to make it any more, you know, thick than it already is, since I already have chipboard. So I'm just pulling out green and red pieces that will sort of mirror each other. I want to put the larger red pieces, or the larger red piece, on Patrick's side, and then the larger green piece on my side. That way it's sort of a mirror image of the matted, you know, the papers I used for the mat. So now to make this look balanced, I'm just kind of rearranging things, trying to see how it works best across the page, which requires a bit of shuffling. I'm not quite done with the clouds yet, so I'm going to actually add in these really pretty acetate clouds. I think that they add just that little extra pop on this page because they're sort of almost white on white with that background paper, so they're subtle until they go over something else, which is really cool. I'm going to use the chipboard to stick it down, but then I'm going to staple it as well. I'm liking stapling things lately more than using it as an adhesive, but also to add a little bit of a different texture to my pages, which is kind of fun. So I've used the chipboard to initially stick these down. My goodness, that bird. And now I'm going to stick these chipboard pieces down as well. If I can get the backing off. Man, I struggle sometimes with the backing on all these stickers. I guess that's what nails are for, but I don't keep my nails long. So I'm going to use this piece to stick down that cloud. Then I need to find a place for that one, which I struggled with a little bit. I kept forgetting that I didn't have to worry about having ring holes in the middle of my, or on the edge of my paper, so that was helpful once I remembered that. Okay, so now I'm trying to get this stapled down. Okay, so I'm actually going to add a large title to this as well. There are some sticky die cut blue letters in the collection, which I think are really going to add to the whole vibe that I'm going for with the really subtle sort of different color variations. So I'm going to use those. First I'm going to pull in a little bit more black with these stickers though. I'm looking through trying to figure out what's appropriate. I want one on each side. So I'm going to put this one over here and it says I needed this, referring more to the hopeful feeling of getting vaccinated. And then this one I think says thumbs up once I find it, and I'm going to put it right above that arrow pointing to Patrick getting his shot. Yep, thumbs up. Okay. Got to make sure that that's stuck down in the right place before it sticks forever and ever. So lastly, I'm going to go through these stickers. Actually, I'm trying to find a good alphabet too. I decided I wanted to add just one more thing to this side of the page to anchor that black sticker. So I'm just going to take a label and put it right underneath it. And that kind of frames it a little bit better too. So it's not sitting on that blue paper. Just adds that little extra pop to that cluster. I'm always looking for layers to add just a little bit more depth to these pages. Okay, so I'm done looking through the stickers and I'm going to pull in the alphabet now. I don't think at this point I had actually decided to pull in that alphabet. Haha, yes, that's why. Because I knew that I wanted something else. So I'm going to add in these enamel dots, and I'm going to add red and green all over. I'm rushing through this just a little bit because it is just me adding dots everywhere. And moving them and removing them and moving them again. Okay, phew. So I just added the little dots everywhere, and I'm going to add Fauci Ouchie because I am hilariously obsessed with that phrase as the title, and it's just going to kind of flow over the whole page in a free-form style with the clouds. And then that is it for this page. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed, and I will see you next time. Thank you.